Greetings from across the water in England. My name is Nigel Watts and this is my wife Molly, and really good to meet you on this, be involved in this WebEx that Mark is running, and yeah, we oversee the work of, or I oversee the work of Precept in Europe, and that includes the countries of Israel and Italy and Germany, Austria and Switzerland, the German-speaking part of Europe, and also in Scotland and Northern Ireland and Italy. Did I say Italy? I think Italy, yeah. And also the Lord is opening up potential opportunities for the work of Precept in Paris, which is also very exciting. And we've been doing some work with Mark actually on French translations, which is really good. So yeah, it's great to be with you and share something of what the Lord is doing in the UK and further afield outside of Canada.
So we want to cover just 3 areas and just tell you a little bit about how we believe God is asking us to raise up or come alongside people that He's raising up as volunteer Precept trainers. And I'll tell you about that in a second. Also about an initiative that we've called Transform 500, and we're visiting local cities and areas and just introducing people to inductive Bible study, and a way that we have raised some money this year by skydiving. Last year we climbed a mountain, and this year we did skydiving, but I'm not sure whether God's calling us to do anything next year. We'll have to wait and see about that. So first of all, just to tell you a little bit about the volunteer Precept trainer program. And we really believe that it's important that there are local people in local areas who can support Bible study leaders, raise up new Bible study leaders, and equip people with the amazing tools of inductive Bible study. So we are implementing a program where we are advertising to the people that we have in our database. We're also trying to go beyond that as well where it's appropriate, just to let people know that if they have a burden, a calling from God to help people get to know Him better through studying His Word inductively, then we want to come alongside them and explore whether or not they're being called by Him to be a volunteer Precept trainer. And we advertised about November of last year, and we had a number of people that applied, that we went through a whole process of recruiting them and selecting them, and we came to the point of being able to invite one lady to an Equip training week, and her name is Karolina. She's a Polish lady. She's been doing Precept studies for 10 years in Poland prior to moving to the UK. And you may not know, but as a nation we're very multicultural, and we have a very large Polish population at the moment. And so one of my objectives when we were praying and planning about volunteer Precept trainers was that we'd be able to reach foreign nationalities, who are people who are living in our country. So when Karolina put in her application and we interviewed her, I was really excited. So Karolina came and joined us for a week. We went through a whole process of talking about what it means to be a volunteer, what our expectations of her are, how we would support her and train her, what she needs to do in the field. We equipped her to be able to lead introductory seminars, and so on and so forth. And so she came to us in April, and since then she has been just praying and seeking God and responding to opportunities that are already being presented to her. And it's just extremely exciting to see how God is just using Karolina specifically in her own church, but also already in the wider Polish community. And just to give you one little idea of the how important this is, there are, that we know about, 400 evangelical Polish Bible study groups around this country, and they don't have the tools of inductive Bible study yet, but perhaps in the next year or 2 years, Karolina's going to be able to connect with some of them and do some training and just introduce them to inductive Bible study. So that's specifically Karolina, but it's a rolling program. We've got another course coming up in October. We've already done some recruiting and selecting, and so we're looking forward to at least one person, if not 2 people, joining us in October, and we'll be taking them through the whole process as well, so that we'll be able to equip them and release them to fulfil the calling that God has got on their life. So it's very exciting. It's slow progress, but we really believe that by investing in them and equipping them properly, then God's going to use them mightily to reach people in our nation.
So, and I know that this is something that you've done in Canada. You have raised up trainers and to great effect. And it's sort of early days for us, as Molly said. And you know, these I think 2 folks coming in October probably exciting. One guy particularly lives in Wales and has a real heart and a real passion for reaching the people in Wales, which has had a number of revivals over the years. So we're really excited about the possibilities there.
We've had trainers for many years, and in fact we've had a lady in Wales who's been training very successfully for a long time. But this is a whole new initiative of raising up a lot more people, because Wales is a big country. We need more people across the country to be able to reach local people. So one of the other things that we have been doing is what we've been calling Transform 500, which is an initiative to reach people over a 5-year period, people specifically who have not yet been introduced to inductive Bible study. So we've been putting on a number of events.
We have. I think we've done about 6 so far, in different parts of the country. It's an evening. We're inviting people that we're already connected with Precept to come, and also for them to bring their friends. And really the structure of the evening is to share something of the state of our nation, and we share some headlines of some things that are going on in our nation, and then share some things about going on in our church. And also some facts and figures about really the lack of people who are studying God's Word. And having done that, we then show an amazing video. It's a video of horses being rescued off an island. You may or may not have seen it. And there's a beautiful parallel that we bring out between these horses that are eventually rescued off this island, and also people reaching out to people, if you like, to rescue them spiritually. And we have a great time of discussion with the people that come and looking at those parallels and see how they may be being called to reach out and disciple others. We then take them through lesson 1 of the 40-minute study, Death, Heaven and...
Heaven, Hell and Life After Death.
Heaven, Hell and Life After Death. Take them through that and encourage them perhaps to use that as a resource to meet one-on-one. And I know, Mark, you do this in Canada. You challenge people to, do they know one person that they can meet with? Just one person and meet with on a regular basis and disciple them. And so we lay out that challenge before them as well. And we've had some reasonable response to that, which has been great. So we've got, I think, 3 more events, Transform 500 events to take place later on this year up in the north of England. And it's just one of the things that we're seeking to do to encourage people to reach out. So that's our Transform 500 events. And the other thing that we just wanted to mention was this parachute jump. Crazy, crazy idea to leap out of an aeroplane.
Well, it's crazy to you because Nigel's a helicopter pilot by profession, was with the army for 25 years, and you never leap out of a serviceable aircraft. No. So it was a bit of a crazy idea for you.
And I was greatly challenged by my wife because we were given a choice between jumping from 10,000 feet.
Well, jumping at all challenged you because you weren't going to do it.
Well, indeed. But having got my mind around the thought of doing this, we were given the choice of jumping from 10,000 feet or 15,000 feet. And Molly said to me, well, I'm going to go for 15,000 feet. What about you? And I said, well, goodness me. If you're going to go 15,000, I haven't got a choice really. So on the 10th of July, so a month or so ago, we went to a local airfield here in Salisbury, and 7 of us were jumping, including our second son, Daniel. And all I will say is it was an experience. You go from 15,000 feet to 5,000 feet in 1 minute.
But the key thing is that we invited other people to join us. So it was about... it wasn't just about us, though, was it? We had, as you said, 7 people who all together that jumped that day.
Yeah. So very surreal experience. A lot of parallels actually between parachuting and our walk with the Lord. You know, we jumped tandem, so we were strapped to somebody else, and of course in life we are, if you like, strapped to the Lord in that sense, and we leapt out of the aircraft in faith, trusting this person that we were connected to. We do that in life with the Lord. And it's a journey on the way down. It's a journey with the Lord, and there's a safe landing at the bottom. And there is a safe landing for us, those of us that have faith in the Lord. So we raised some funds to go on supporting the ministry, which was great. We haven't got any bright ideas for next year. We've been up a mountain, we've leapt from an aeroplane, and we'll just have to see next year.
But I think what was so exciting about it was the way that some young people caught the vision of joining us. That I want to just tell you about these other people very briefly. We had 3 young people who are from Wales, and they've been studying inductively for many years as part of a youth group, and they were just extraordinary. They had to raise their own money to be able to pay for the jump, and then they got a lot of sponsorship, some through Facebook and all their contacts, and they made a big donation to the ministry, and it was just phenomenal, the fact that they were showing such commitment to the ministry, and because they wanted to give back, because they'd received so much from the study of God's word. So it was kind of a bonding experience as well, and God used it to raise some money for the ministry. So we just thank him for the time that we had.
Yeah. So our time is up, and we just want to say thank you for this opportunity to share a little bit about what's going on over the water. May the Lord bless you in the ministry that he's called you to. Thank you, Mark, for this opportunity. And you can always connect to us on Facebook, Precept Ministries UK Facebook site, to find out what's going on if you're interested. And we look forward to staying in touch in the future. So thanks very much, and the Lord bless you.